If you want to build an ADU, but you have no idea where to begin, I made a guide that will show you every single step that you need to take in order to start and complete your ADU. For the viewers that don't have time to watch the entire video, you can go over to this website and start using the ADU Construction Master Guide for free. Welcome to my ADU. Let's talk about the guide that I built to help homeowners build their ADU without the assistance of a general contractor. And with this guide, you can basically copy my strategy. It's been a while since I made a video. I think it's about 3 months. Within those 3 months, I've been working hard on the background, creating something that I hope will help lots of people build their ADUs, especially owner builders who don't want to spend $120,000 to convert their garage. There's two major reasons why I put this guide together. Reason number one is I get a lot of phone calls from viewers. I kind of dug myself into a hole in a way. Sometimes I'll get maybe 2 calls in a day. Each call takes about 20 minutes. My time is limited in regards to what I actually do, which is real estate. So I just said, you know what, let me put together a guide that people can follow. By doing this, I'm not just helping one person at a time. Hopefully I'm helping 20, 30 people. Homeowners can look at the guide, see what step is first, what step is next, and just keep on going until you finish your project. With the guide, anybody can duplicate my strategy no matter what stage of the construction process you're in. So let's say you're in the framing process, you need to know what's going to be the next step. First of all, you have to pass your framing inspection. Once the framing inspection is out of the way, you go in and the city inspector will let you know that you need to install the electrical. After the electrical, you have the insulation. Depending if the shear walls are installed inside or outside, it'll be time for the shear walls, so on and so forth. No matter where you are in your project, this guide will be able to help you out. If you need somebody to help you draw the plans for your ADU, get in contact with Natalie. She can help you draw the plans, submit them to the city, and get them approved. The best way of getting in contact with Natalie is by going over to my website, sending her an email, and that's it. She will take care of the rest, and by doing that, you will be executing step 1 towards building your ADU. This could have been a PDF. Get a PDF together, upload it to the site, download the PDF, and just call it a day. Every time I added something to the list of things to do, more things popped up. I could not just cover framing. I had to go into the details of framing and things that homeowners should ask their framer to give them an estimate on. Things that you can do while you're waiting. Let's say, for example, you talk to a designer, they're gonna start doing your plans. There's about 4 months in between where you're just not doing anything. Within the guide, I'm basically telling people, use that time to look at your foundation, see if you have footings. Not just that, but you can order the windows, because window companies are taking between 3 months to 2 months to put your windows together. What that basically means is, let's say you take 3 months to get your plans approved. Plans are approved, and then you have to wait another 3 months to get your windows. So that just became a 6-month process. And we're just talking about the windows. We're not talking about the insulation. We're not talking about the drywall, the floor, the bathroom. So that just became a 7 to 8 month project. But ordering the windows during the time where you have your designs being drawn and submitted to the city, by the time they're approved, you can have the windows be delivered to your property, and the framing can begin and the windows can be installed, all within, let's say, 3 weeks. How do you access all the information? The guide is available to members of my website, and there's 2 ways to access the information. Option number 1, you can view everything on a web browser. The web browser could be on a computer, a Mac, or on your phone. Now, the second option is a little bit more complicated, but there's an app for all this information. I'm super happy with the finished product, whether you use it on a web browser or the app. In both systems, what you can do is you can see the progress that you're making every time you complete a step. Not just that, but you have the option to book an appointment with a plumber, a framer, the electrician, at whatever stage of the construction process that you are in. the system gives you an option to book an appointment with that contractor. That to me, it's a magnificent tool that I don't even think ADU companies that do this for a living are offering their clients. Just an application where you can see the progress of the construction. And I just can't believe I'm offering this stuff for free. I don't know. I don't want to charge any money for it. But anyways, so yeah, you can see the progress that you're doing when you're building your ADU, and I think that's critical to owner builders because there's no way to organize this type of construction. There is no structure. There is nothing out there that can help the owner builder to achieve building an ADU from plans all the way to your final inspection. And I'm very happy that I kind of put this together. When you have access to the guide on the app, it's very intuitive, it's easier to follow, it's very user friendly. If you use the guide on a mobile device, just the web browser, it's a little bit more clunky. So I suggest you use the app. I'm going to have some kind of tutorial on how to download it and start using it on your phone within the app because it's just easier to use overall. All this information, all these tools that I'm creating are 100% free to use. You don't have to pay anything. You can download the app for free. You can create an account on my website for free. I'm going to have two versions of the master guide. One that's going to be 100% free and another one that's going to be a paid service. The difference between the two is that the paid one, there will be audio commentary. I'm gonna go in and explain every single step that you need to take, but that's essentially it. You'll be fine with the free one. The one that you paid for is basically for viewers out there that appreciate the content that I'm creating, and this is the way for someone to help me pay for the server fee and the app fee. Hopefully somebody signs up and helps me keep going and keep making awesome videos. Other than that, the information will always be free as long as I'm not so much out of pocket. I just want to provide the guide to help as many people as possible, and hopefully I get less calls about what do I do after my plans are approved. That's my main goal by creating this guide, just basically freeing up my time. And I hope anybody who's watching this video thinks about calling me, just understand that I'm investing my time in your project, so keep it short. I'm gonna go over the steps that you need to take. I'm not gonna go into full detail of what the steps are, but at least I'm gonna cover the things that you have to do first all the way to the end. And I'm using the app right now, and all you have to do is you go to your profile and then to programs, and it shows you the steps that you need to take in order to complete your ADU. Let's go through them really quick. I'm gonna let you know what the steps are and the things to look out for. So, for example, you can't go anywhere without your plans. You need to talk to a designer, have them do your plans, and in between, like I said, there's a lot of things to do. I'm not gonna go into those details. I'm gonna jump to the next step. So after you get your plans approved, you're gonna talk to the city inspector to set your first appointment. Within the first appointment, what's gonna happen is, if you have drywall in your garage, the city inspector most likely will ask you to remove the drywall because you're going to be installing rough electrical, rough plumbing, maybe some framing, and the only way to do that is to basically remove the drywall. So that's one of the things that you might experience during your first inspection. Also, within that first inspection, the city inspector will ask you to verify the footings. If you're using this guide, all those little tips are in there, and you can be prepared to knock out 2 inspections or 3 inspections at once. It's that easy. You just follow the steps and it'll just let you know what you have to do. So the very next step after your first appointment most likely is going to be the plumbing. You have to call a contractor to install the rough plumbing. One of the things that I don't explain on the guide is the codes that you have to follow in order to pass the inspection. I left that information for the plumber to know. The plumber should know the codes to follow in order to pass the plumbing inspection. The same thing goes for the electrical, the framing. I didn't put those steps in there just because there's a bunch of codes, and I didn't really want to go into that rabbit hole. I just wanted to stick to what I know, which is the steps that you need to take in order to complete the ADU. So after you do the plumbing, you have to install the red guard. The red guard goes on the concrete and you'll pass the red guard inspection. Right after that, it's the framing. And during the framing, you have to install the line set for the mini split. A lot of people don't know that. They just get lost on what to do. So when you're doing the framing and the line set for the mini split, you're past your rough framing inspection, And right after that, you're gonna go into the electrical. Right after the electrical, you can start putting in the insulation. I did insulation myself. I don't recommend it. Hire a professional. But yeah, that's the next step. Right after the insulation, depending if the shear walls are installed inside or outside, it'll be the shear walls. So you get the shear walls out of the way, then it's time to cover up the garage door. Once you cover up the garage door, the shear walls are installed. If you have a walk-in shower, you would have to do a hot mop. If you're not having a walk-in shower, you can just install a tub. Once you get the hot mop out of the way, it's time to install the drywall. One quick note, if you have an attached garage, one of the things that you have to do is install a resilient channel. The resilient channel is basically a thin piece of metal that, according to the website, absorbs some of the sound waves and makes room just a little bit quieter. You need to install the resilient channel first, and then the drywall is gonna go on top. But guess what? All this information that I'm telling you right now is gonna be on this guide. So if you're writing things down, don't even write it down because it's all gonna be on your phone. On the website, I also included a guide for people who really wanna DIY their ADU. There's a guide that shows you how to install the resilient channel. So I'm trying to cover every single angle, that way people have a lot of information. After the drywall, it's time to install the recessed lights and the electrical covers. So you get that out of the way, then you come in with the laminated floors, vinyl, tile, whatever it may be, on the bathroom and the living area. Right after that, you install your kitchen. After the installation of the kitchen, you're going to install the baseboard. Once you install the baseboard, most likely it means that the project is almost completed. Title 24 is going to be the next step. You have to get a certificate, and you have to show that certificate to the city inspector to get the signature for the last inspection. I'm actually going to make an entire video dedicated to Title 24 and the last 5 things that you need to do in order to pass every single inspection and get the clearance to get your certificate of occupancy. So basically that's kind of the breakdown of what the guide includes. Hopefully everybody finds this information useful. Once again, it's free. I'm not charging anything for this unless I'm out of pocket and I have to pay for that server fee, which is kind of expensive. But yes, that's what this guide is. It took me 3 to 4 months to put this together. A lot of late nights, a lot of editing, and it just took a lot of time. On the very next video, I will be introducing ADU consulting services. For now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.